Hey everybody, welcome back to the, I almost said Josh and Debcast. Welcome back to Hatchet TV.
We are Hatchet TV.
Hatchet TV. And today it's me,
Deb,
and
KB.
And guess what we're going to talk about?
Us.
about the
You're making it weird.
you mean the movie?
The movie. Yeah, not the three of us.
I
but
told you, I'm a
us.
narcissist. I don't mind
Yeah.
talking about us all day long.
We're going to talk about us.
Well,
Don't forget about... I'm sorry. Copyright.
All right. So we just got out from seeing the movie. I know we're a couple of days late. It's the 24th. It's Sunday. And
when did it come out?
Friday.
Oh, so barely?
so for us, it's a
Yeah.
couple of days late.
Yeah.
Considering we just saw Shazam and talked about it on the Josh and Debcast, and that's 2 weeks early. But we're 2 days late for us. Luckily, we didn't see any spoilers or anything like that online. And speaking of spoilers, there is no way that we can discuss this movie without having a spoiler-full discussion. So you have been warned. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert,
please only
spoilers,
listen to this.
spoilers.
Please only listen to this podcast if you have already seen us and you know what we look like.
Or if you don't care about knowing what happens to us.
If you don't care to see us.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert, spoiler. There, you've been warned.
Spoiler.
Man, I should have got some water. But anyways, so look, there's a spoiler right there. We're looking at the music. She actually drives. Escape the. All we had to do was read the set list of the original motion picture soundtrack.
Nice.
Okay, so we went into the movie. We went over to the River Center Theater and saw Us.
Not sponsored, but we don't mind.
Yeah, not sponsored by anybody, but if you want to give us free movie tickets or something like that, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And who wants to start off? We will give our review number of the movie at the end of the review.
Okay.
Okay, so the movie starts off with a little girl. And did y'all notice, and I read this on a website on Bloody Disgusting.
So you did read spoilers.
No, technically I guess this would be a spoiler, but it was just a horror spoiler. Did y'all notice that she said, well, why don't you go over to the carousel? I hear they're filming something over there.
Okay.
At the Santa Cruz Beach in 1986, at that boardwalk that they were at the Ferris wheel where she told him to go record, is where they film Lost Boys.
Oh, snap.
So,
Wow.
And it was during that time.
during that time, so this movie is happening in the same universe, which is our universe, our real world, because it's not in the Lost Boys universe, it's in the universe that filmed the movie The Lost Boys.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That clever little shrew, Jordan Peele.
That's spooky. That's fine. We'll just use that one. But anyways, so it starts off with a little girl at the beach with her parents, and apparently there's some family issues going on because the mom don't want to have nothing to do with the dad, and the dad's like, what, I can't drink a beer? I can't drink a beer? What, got a problem with me drinking a beer?
I can't win a prize for my
I can't
daughter?
win a prize for my daughter? And I honestly thought that the movie was going to be based, I thought those were the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Because you couldn't tell their face or anything like that, and you really didn't get a good shot of the girl. And I forgot, I kept on waiting. Where's the brother? Where's the brother at?
yeah.
Because it's only the mom, the dad, and the sister, or the daughter.
Right.
Where's the son at?
Yeah.
I
agree.
But come to find out that it is okay. So we all know that in the movie there's a dad, a mom, a son, and a daughter.
Right.
Come to find out, the movie starts off with what would be the grandparents and the child, the mother as a child.
Right.
Okay. Y'all can chip in too.
Well, we're listening to you, and then we'll jump in.
We're listening to Grandy, old storyteller.
Well,
1986.
when I was 11.
Lost Boys.
Jeez, I wasn't born yet.
But wow. So she gets lost in the beach, and they find her, and she was gone for like 30 minutes or something like that. And then it cuts to present day. And that's it. The end. See, this is why I didn't want to talk about it in the car, because then y'all weren't going to want to talk about it here.
No, I'm talking. We're just listening.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And then they play the song, and then the credits roll.
Everybody dies in the end.
Did y'all notice that when they were showing the TV and they showed the Hands Across America commercial, that the movies that were on the side of the VHS tapes, there was Goonies, there was Chud.
I didn't see it.
I didn't notice what movies were there.
There was the one.
I noticed there were VHS tapes there.
The one on the far left with the it was red letters and blue case kind of. I couldn't read what it was. I didn't know what movie that was.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize those movies. Again, I wasn't born.
Oh, boo boo.
But I did notice though that while she was watching the television back in the 80s, it did say 11:11.
I didn't notice that
on the screen. Yes, it did.
I did not notice
it said
that.
Something about Channel 11 at 11, Hands Across America or whatever.
Yes, Cali 11 News with the 11:11 is very important in this movie.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, we don't know why. So the movie happens, and you find out there's this family that's at their vacation home, which used to be, I think, the grandmother's house.
Yes,
and then the grandmother died over the past year since they had been there the year before. And now this is their summer home, and the dad's wanting to have fun, and the mom's like, I don't want to be out here, and the son is all having a blast, but he's feeling a little awkward, and the daughter's like, I just want to be on my phone.
Right.
So typical American family. Yeah. Everybody's stuck. Well, actually, if everybody was stuck on their phone, it'd be more of a typical American family.
True.
Yeah.
Well, the weird, it starts to get a little weird because apparently this couple who has this family have never discussed most of her past.
Yeah.
Because they're at the grandmother's house. Apparently they'd never been to the damn beach, which is down the road.
And she never told him.
Never told her about whatever incident happened to her.
Because he wants to go to the beach, and she's like, nope.
Never says why. She's like, there's too many. She goes with the complete regular excuse of, oh, there's too many people, and there's, weirdos and pedophiles and terrorists, and I don't want to go. I
think the little boy, the son, actually says that terrorists and perverts.
Yeah.
Sometime in the movie.
Yeah, that's because that's what she says at the beginning.
So
why she doesn't want to go.
So they go out to the beach, and you see they establish the friends. They're not really neighbors. They're just friends from the same area, right?
I think so.
It's the husband Josh, the wife who's Kitty, who can't stand Josh, and they're just
they're
twin daughters. Yeah,
who are obnoxious little whores.
Why are they whores?
Bush twins.
Wow. And then
my hatred runs deep.
The son disappears because he has to go to the bathroom, and he happens to go into the same house of mirrors that. Did he go in?
No, he does not. Okay,
it looks like he's going in because the latrines are right next to the same house.
When they're driving up to the beach, the family's driving up to the beach, they wind up getting stopped because there was an ambulance carrying this man who also just happens to be, weirdly enough, the same man
in 1986
from 1986
that was holding the sign,
holding the exact same sign that said Jeremiah 11:11. So when the boy went to the bathroom, which happened to be right next to the little hall of mirrors that she went into back in the 80s, because everything was pretty much still the same from when she was young, he sees what at least appears to be the same man standing with his arms outstretched with a bloody hand.
You know what I didn't realize?
What?
So they were putting Jeremiah 11:11 into the ambulance that was bleeding, and he was bleeding, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But when he went to go to the bathroom, like you just said, Jeremiah 11:11 was standing there with the bloody hand.
Yes.
So that was already his tethered.
Yes.
So the whole thing started before we think it started.
Yep.
It was already underway.
Wow.
Yep.
So to make a long story short, you find out that, if you've seen the commercial, there's a family outside.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's like, what?
It's 11:11 at night, Mom, and there's a family in our driveway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's 11:11, Mom. It's time for bed, but the power goes out, and there's a family in our driveway.
Yeah. And this is a movie that has to happen in California because the dad's all like, "Oh, let me go out there and talk to them." Excuse me, people,
I think one of the funniest things was when the family does decide to make a move, attack the original family. He says, "How are they getting in the house? The hide a key. Hide a key? What kind of white people shit?"
Oh yeah, he does say that.
Because there was a plastic rock.
There was a plastic rock with a damn key in it. Windows everywhere. I'm like, you do realize there's so many entry points. I poke a lot of holes in movies sometimes, and
I have an uncle. No, wait. I have an uncle who the back of his house is all windows.
That's terrible.
I mean, it would be horrible. It's a beautiful view. But in a zombie apocalypse, to be fair, one rock would just,
your uncle's house is up on top of a hill, so the back of his house doesn't have anything for somebody to come in.
That's true. That side's hanging over a ledge, but okay.
Understood.
So,
you can see over and you see all the lake.
And I think even funnier was when they were under the original family was under attack. That little girl's run. Oh my gosh!
Right, and she's supposed to be. They established that she's a sprinter and a track and field person.
That was the funniest run I've ever seen in cinematic. It was like watching Benny Hill run down the street.
But when they showed her tethered version of herself run, she was sprinting.
Yeah,
she was
exactly.
Which makes no sense.
None.
So
maybe that was her scared sprint.
Maybe. But here's the thing.
So it looked like she had to take a shit the whole time.
Maybe she was right about to when all this started.
She's like, Mom, the power went out. I was about to take a shit.
Dad.
So there's a whole bunch of anticipation in the movie, like what's going to happen now?
Exactly.
What's going to happen now? What's around the corner? And they set up that the camera angles are great.
Oh yeah. Cinematography is fantastic.
Was fantastic. And then you come to find out. Do we just let them know?
No, don't give away the
don't give away the whole thing.
Well, we said spoilers.
Yeah, but that's
not
no.
that
We
many spoilers.
we have to explain like why are there us? No. Then how are we going to talk about the rest of the movie?
I mean, you don't.
So there are some giant.
That shit gets real.
There's some giant M. Night Shyamalan like twists.
Yeah,
but
he's not even
much
part
better.
Of this movie, right?
No, he's not part of this movie.
The acting was good.
I think the twist in this is not as shocking as I see dead people.
Yeah. No, it's not.
But maybe as shocking as the twist from Signs.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Signs was really good.
All three of us.
What the hell?
all three of us.
Really
halfway through the
Signs.
movie knew what the twist was going to be.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I didn't. I did not.
I thought you said you did.
No, I was not one of them.
Okay, well, Deb and I knew the twist of the
I
story
did not.
halfway through. And, I mean, it's still a great movie. Y'all can talk to.
I'm listening.
It's still a really good movie. For my personal rating, I would give it a 7.
We hadn't got there yet,
I
but
know,
okay,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
But I'm giving mine now. But I would give it a 7 only because there are way too many questions and answers. But the acting was fantastic from everyone, every person. Because I know the original actors played their, tethered selves, and they did fantastic.
And I guess we're not explaining what tethered means.
I'm sorry, clones. We'll just call them clones.
Okay, Deborah, you?
The rating?
Yeah, let's go to the rating already. KB gave it a 7.
I think I'm going to give it a 7 also, out of a 10. Because though it was a good movie, it still wasn't what I expected. Like, some of it I still don't understand. And now that we're talking about it, I understand it a little bit more. But I didn't, when the credits rolled, I I wasn't like, oh, I understand this movie completely.
Exactly.
Well, I went into this movie suspending belief and waiting for supernatural things to happen and stuff like that. And I could accept all that. And the more that we've been talking about it, the more we're dissecting it and the more we're finding issues with it. And walking out of the theater, I would have given it like an 8.5, 8. But since we've been talking about it, I'll go along with y'all 7s. You know, because there's a whole bunch of questions.
I do want to watch it again.
I do, yeah.
Not in the theater.
Yeah.
Right.
But when it comes out,
exactly,
I want to watch it again. And then now that I know some of it and we talked about it, maybe when I see it again, it'll answer the questions that I have.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
But for right now, I give it a 7.
Exactly. Watch all the bonus features because
there's going to have to be something about it.
It has to.
And one of the things that kind of messed up the movie for me, and I'm just going to be honest about it, and I've always wanted to talk honest on one of our podcasts and let everything out without being in character or anything like that. Because he's such a liar
at every other podcast.
Well, no, I mean, there's just some things. There's a lot of things that I don't let all of us say just because I censor us.
Whoa, hey, watch your words.
I censor us just because everybody's so sensitive nowadays and all that. But I will be
get your Band-Aids ready.
Honest about this. Even though Jordan Peele came out and said that this wasn't like a political statement movie or anything like that, the way that Get Out was used, I thought there was going to be something in here used that way. Something that what people call social media warriors, social justice warriors or whatever was going to use or something like that. And to his credit, this movie is a horror movie.
It is.
I'm sure someone will find some kind of underlying message to pull from it because, I mean, with enough imagination, you can find whatever you want to hear in anything you hear or watch or read or anything like that. Anybody can find a message. This movie was straight up a horror movie.
I agree.
There was actually no explanation of why the government did what they did either.
We're not talking about that. I wanted to talk about that,
I
but
didn't say what the government did. I'm just saying they didn't say why they did what they did.
Yes, they did. We'll talk about it after we get off here.
Oh yeah, they kind of did, but that wasn't like a real explanation. It was like we did it because we wanted to.
But
why does the government do anything that they?
This movie had. Were there any jump scares?
There was a couple.
Yeah.
Like cheesy out of nowhere, just blah scares.
There was a couple that made me jump.
There was a couple. Like
I don't.
When the girl fell off the stairwell.
Okay.
That
yeah.
scared me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
There were some good kills.
Yeah.
Yes, there were good kills in this movie. There was a good amount of blood.
There was.
There wasn't really gore. There was blood, but there was gore. There was classic horror anticipation. And there was a what the fuck?
Yeah. There was also some comedy too.
One of the scare jumps that I had was not even.
What was it?
It was when she went into the house, into the house of mirrors, and she ran right into the mirror.
Yeah, there's a scene where, as a child, she's walking around and she sees the exit sign. She's like, "Oh, let me go through there," and she goes boom, and right into the.
And she ran right into herself.
Again, like I said, I always poke holes in movies that I watch sometimes. But that one was like, okay, what mirror is that good in '86 that she just runs right into herself?
Well, let's go ahead and end it there. With KB saying that right there. That's why. No, but walking straight out of the movie, I would have given it like an 8.5, a higher rating. But then discussing it afterwards, I'm going to give it a 7. But then, now that I think about that, it's got us talking, not just because we were going to do it. The only reason we're doing the podcast was not to do a podcast or have content, but because we were talking about it so much in the car. And, I mean, we've gone to movies before, and after the fact, it's done until you see it again. And you're like, oh, yeah, I remember. But, I mean, this movie actually brought up discussion.
Right. It did. And,
and even though we're finding some things that we're considering flaws that might not be flaws, we're talking about it.
Like I said, I do want to watch it again, and maybe when I watch it again, I'll have answers to my questions that I have right now.
Or you might just give it a 4,
and then I might give it an 8 or a 9
or a 10. It's hard to get that 10.
Yeah, you have to be Shazam good.
I see.
Apples and oranges, my love. Apples and oranges.
And dragon fruits.
Yeah. But all right, so a round of 7 from Josh, Deb, and KB here at the Hatchet TV podcast. Don't forget to listen to
Opinion Holes.
Opinion Holes, which is KB's podcast, also on Ecoside Pro, the Josh and Deb cast.
Josh and Deb cast.
And then there's also Red Pill Rapport. Just, just back up Ecoside Pro with all the things that we do. And I guess that's it.
Thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate you.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe.
Share with your friends.
If you have an Apple device,
Share
please
with your enemies.
go onto your Apple device, give us a review, give us 5 stars.
Share with the underworld.
Yeah, and if you really don't like somebody, make them listen to our podcast.
Yes. Until next time.
You'll get that after you see the movie. All right. So until next time, Josh.
And Deb.
And KB.
And this is HTV. That did not transition as smooth as I thought it was.
Dun, dun.
Should we be playing this? It is licensed music.
Dun.
We do not own the rights.
We do not own the rights to this. We are simply talking about the movie that it's from. Yes, it's a review. Cuckoo.